Hey there, good Thursday afternoon. It's the 15th of January. I'm meteorologist Alexis Clemens. We're jumping on here to talk about the changes that are on the way. And we have this amazing tool here with our weather lab here at NBC Connecticut to where anybody can ask questions to us while we're live, and we'll answer them to the best of our ability here. But just wanted to hop on and talk about these changes that are incoming. In fact, we're seeing them right now. If I go ahead and pull up our map here for these temperatures, see what's going on here. A cold front is clearly moving across the region. It's in the 30s in Litchfield County, the 40s right now. This is as I'm recording this at 2:19 in the afternoon. We're at 44 in Hartford and Middletown, but 33 in the Norfolk area, and then still at 48 in Danielson and Norwich. So you can clearly tell with those temperature contours on there that cooler weather is making its way into the region. We're definitely going to feel it tonight as let me see if I can find this for us real quick. As we look at your wind gusts as well, things are definitely starting to pick up. We're seeing wind gusts up to about, look at that, 30, 35 miles an hour across the state. So that's going to lead to a wind chill here very soon. Okay, perfect. So I have comments up if anybody has any questions. But you can see that wind is picking up. That's going to be ushering in some cooler air behind this cold front. And as I go ahead and show you this map, you can pinpoint where this cold front is once this loads here, because cooler air is on the way. Is it the coldest we've ever seen? No. But it's been a while since we've seen it. We've been in a stretch of mild weather for most of the first half of January here. So this is a change. Here you can absolutely see where that cold front is. It is in between Albany and Hartford, because Albany, it's 27 degrees there. It's 44 in Hartford. Hey, it's 52 in Boston. So quite a divide. Even 11 degrees right now in Buffalo, 16 in Pittsburgh. So that is on the way, and that's what we're kind of watching. That's going to kind of snap us back into reality here, right? Putting us back into that winter-like feel. So rather chilly out there. And I also want to show you our satellite and radar, because we did miss out on what would have been potentially a bigger system for us there. It's been snowing quite some time up towards Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto, over towards Lake Superior, or not Lake Superior. Sorry, I'm thinking of Wisconsin, Lake Ontario there, and Lake Erie. Seeing some snow showers there and across New York and parts of Pennsylvania. Now, I think that system stays away as we are expecting it to. However, another system could provide some snow for us. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out just a little bit with our satellite and radar. You can just see more snow coming into the north central part of the country. That's kind of what we're watching for us as we head into the next couple of days here. So I did want to point out that temperatures are going to drop pretty quickly tonight with that wind chill especially. And this map does a really good job of showing that. And I'll talk about what's going to be happening all across the country too, because this is a very, very large system of cooler weather that's on the way here. But these temperatures tonight here in Connecticut going to drop quite a bit by this evening. If you have any plans, I mean, right after the sun sets, I think it's going to start to feel pretty chilly out there, compared to the 40s that we saw today. Some of us even nearing 50, but that wind chill in the teens and 20s by this evening. And then tomorrow morning, I think just about all of us are in the single digits. So just get ready for that cooler feel in the air here. That's what we're monitoring for your Friday morning. And I think that wind is still going to hold on, unfortunately. So very blustery out there. So you see that wind chill at in the single digits tomorrow morning. I also want to show you just a look at what the wind gusts are going to be doing at that time as well, because I still think that's going to be a factor through Friday, especially through tonight. So you can see here as we step through these wind gusts, yeah, I mean, we're talking 20 to 30 miles an hour across the area tomorrow. That's just going to feel pretty blustery out there. So just preparing you Friday morning, not going to have the nicest start to it. And I don't really think that improves too much through the day, because that wind is kind of still with us until we head towards the evening hours. Friday night, things are starting to calm down and things are looking a little bit better. However, by Friday night, we'll be monitoring some snow. So I'll show you the headlines that I made for our shows earlier today, but they still most definitely stand hold up now. So that's a live look in Litchfield there. We are currently dealing with our last mild day. 40s are gone after this afternoon, and I don't think they come back anytime soon, at least not in the next 2 to 3 weeks at least. And then a blustery wind is going to be setting up shop, right? It's feeling like the single digits as we go towards Friday morning. Even as we progress through Friday, it's still going to be feeling like the teens and 20s, still going to be rather chilly through Friday. Then we've got some snow chances. We're actually monitoring 2 systems this weekend, and we have some major updates for you on both of those. So let's talk about it, because there's something to talk about every single day over the holiday weekend here for you. So we've got this snow chance for Saturday. So let's time this out for you. Let's show you kind of what we're watching here. So we've got some snow on Saturday. So first of all, Friday, dry. Actually, tomorrow, lots of sunshine. It just feels like winter out there, like the 10s and 20s with that wind. Now, as we head towards Saturday, closing in on the daybreak hours here, Saturday morning is when we start to see that snow. So you're likely not going to wake up and see a bunch of snow on the ground, but it likely would be starting between about 6 to 10 a.m. is kind of what I'm thinking there. Maybe even closing in on like 6 to 8 a.m. is when that start time is going to be. So we're going to track this through Saturday morning and the midday hours. I'm going to back it up to about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning here. So we've got nice snow across, nice light but steady snow along a front here that's going to provide snow for a lot of the state. Somebody says, happy Thursday. I can already feel the temperature is starting to drop and tremble, and the wind is picking up. Absolutely. Thank you for those reports. We always appreciate your reports, and we like to have all of our towns covered here in Connecticut. So let us know what you're seeing as well. And of course, ask any questions that you have. But we've got this snow that's going to be spreading all across the state here as we go through the midday hours of Saturday. So just kind of giving you a heads up that we'll see this. It shouldn't be a heavy snow. It should be rather light, but snowing for, 6 hours or so, that could accumulate a little bit. So that's what we're going to be watching. You'll notice, though, the southeastern shore, more of a rain mixing in there. And that is very possible kind of to the east of, let's say, I would say just New Haven, Milford, that area there. I think New Haven sees snow, but areas to the east there, it's more of a rain mixing. And we're going to also have to watch as time goes on through Friday. If that precipitation can stick around, it would potentially be just rain, because for a lot of areas there, that rain snow line moving a little bit further north just because of this system and temperatures warming up. So that's kind of what we're watching here. We would dry out by 3 p.m., I would think. So I'm thinking like 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday is kind of the best chance for that snow. If we do see accumulations, they would happen in the morning hours, drying out through the afternoon hours. So this is what we're watching here. And as for totals, it doesn't look like a huge system for us, but still, the most snow that a lot of us have seen in quite some time. We're thinking 1 to 2 inches for a lot of areas, at least a dusting for most areas, except for that southeastern shore there. And then 1 to 2 inches looks rather likely. I'll kind of just show you what some of our models are saying. I'm also watching as the new model data is coming out right now. I've been kind of monitoring that all afternoon long. And it's pretty set that I think we've got about 1 to roughly 3 inches here. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing any updates while we're here. But I'll go ahead and just show you the map that I've made that I think should hold steady or hold true, I guess, for kind of what we're seeing here. I think 1 to 2, maybe up to 3 inches in certain areas there. Most areas according to an inch and a half. We might be dealing with some drier air in the Connecticut River Valley, so we're going to have to pay attention to that as well. But just a couple inches of that snow. Somebody's asking about Sunday. There's probably been a lot of things going around about Sunday as well. So I will dive into that for you as well. So this is your snow potential for Saturday. Saturday is actually looking more likely than Sunday. And here is why. So what we've been talking about these last couple of days is a potential offshore system here. And those can create a lot of moisture and bigger snow systems for us, right? That's what we've been watching for the Sunday afternoon, evening, overnight hours, right? So it all depends on where that low tracks. Right now, it kind of wants to stay a little far away, but maybe the southeastern part of Connecticut, Rhode Island, the Cape there, they kind of get clipped with a little bit of this snow. But I'm going to go ahead and show you just why these systems are so incredibly interesting here. Let me find the graphic I just made for us. I'm putting up the models. This is the GFS model. This is what we look at with the weather. The same system, same exact time. This is yesterday's model output compared to today's. Completely different system, which is interesting because it only moved 50 miles or so, but a huge change in our forecast. That's why these systems are so difficult here. And they're just very interesting here. Right now, the trend is that this system is moving further and further away from us. So there's a very good chance that a lot of us stay dry on Sunday. However, like I just talked about, the southeastern shore on Saturday, you might not see any snow. Sunday, you do have a better chance than the rest of Connecticut here with this system. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on those graphics for us, just so you can really see what's going on here, because that's kind of a far away look. So I'll go ahead and zoom in as we head towards Saturday and Sunday. So this is our GFS model here. This takes us pretty far out. So again, it shows that snow as we head towards Saturday. Yay, yay, yay. How much fun. And then Sunday, look at that. This system now wants to really miss us quite a bit. So that's what we're watching now. But again, if that track moves ever so slightly to the northwest, that's where it could provide a little bit of snow. I still think right now the core of this system stays away, but it's going to be something to pay attention to for sure. This system is also one that they're tracking in like Georgia and the Carolinas there. A huge cool down across all of the East Coast here. And then it's going to they're even looking at a little bit of snow down towards like Savannah, Augusta, Georgia there. So really, really interesting system. And this is the same one that we're kind of watching here. So very interesting to say the least. I wanted to show this graphic that I made for us a little bit earlier on. This is, I think everybody will will get a kick out of this one. So temperatures, come on out, computer. Temperatures are going to feel like the single digits as we go towards tomorrow morning. We're talking lows near about, 18, 19, 20 degrees is what we've got here as we go towards Friday morning. But take a look at Florida. They're freaking out. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be in the 30s, the 20s there in Jacksonville and Tallahassee, 30s Orlando and Tampa, and then the low 40s in southern Florida. I'm thinking, I know a lot of people. This is the holiday weekend. A lot of people are kind of heading south this time of year, especially as well, because they want to get away from the cooler weather. Well, I wanted to let you know, if you know anybody heading towards Florida this weekend or to the south, you're not escaping the cold weather. And here's what I was talking about with the chance for snow. Look at that, towards the panhandle of Florida and potentially into, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina. Isn't that interesting? I mean, a little bit of snow just does not do well as we in those areas there. But that is the same system that we would be tracking here in Connecticut for Sunday night. And this is the European model. So again, these are like the two larger models that we see here. And again, that model also keeping this system offshore. So again, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. I'm thinking right now, if you're in Northwest Connecticut, right now, I think it's safe to say really no chance for snow on going into Sunday night. But the closer you are to like Rhode Island, there's going to be a chance. All right, so we've got some questions. How do we? Somebody said leaving for Florida tomorrow morning. My mom is also going to Florida tomorrow morning. She's not too excited about that. Have you guys ever heard? I don't know if you've ever heard of falling iguana alerts. It's a real thing. Look it up. It is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Basically, iguanas, they live in Florida, right? So they're cold-blooded. Cold weather, it stuns them, and they actually fall out of trees, palm trees, because their body just cannot react to these cold temperatures. They're not dead. They're just stunned temporarily until it warms back up. So the National Weather Service will literally put out falling iguana alerts. I think that is hysterical. It's just really interesting. Also, it's like, par for the course for Connecticut, right? To see those temperatures in the 30s and 20s and stuff like that. Anyways, look that up. that is hilarious. Somebody's asking, how do we think roads are going to be along the shoreline on Saturday afternoon, specifically in Fairfield? That's a great question. Truthfully, I'm going to tell you right now, I think road temperatures are not going to be a huge factor because it's been so mild these last several days. And even though it does cool down tonight, I think, especially at the shoreline there, where it's just typically a little bit warmer than the rest of us, I do think that road should be fairly okay as long as crews are out there. They're salting everything, and it also should be a lighter snow. You know what I mean? Like a heavier snow is really hard for crews to keep up with, but a lighter snow should be a little bit better, especially the interstates. But I would still maybe plan some extra time for Saturday afternoon. Also, by then, we're expecting that snow in Fairfield specifically to wrap up between, I would say, 1 to 3 p.m. there. So if you're kind of heading out after about 3 p.m., things should be drying out. So that is good news there. Great questions. Oh yeah. And somebody said the Icebox of Connecticut will get a lot of snow. I think they have a very good chance to see those higher amounts on Saturday. And by higher, I mean like 3 inches, but still something, because we haven't seen that in several hours. Melissa, I will say, if you're still with us here, if you see a falling iguana, please let me know. It's like my dream. I really want to see this. It just looks really, really interesting. My mom's going to. She's going to Tampa, so I told her, I'm like, if you see an iguana on the ground, don't go up to it, don't touch it, but take a photo, because I just think that it's interesting. How different. It's just different stuff here. But yeah, if you have any more questions, of course, let me know. Just giving you the latest here, because it's been warm, and now we're getting back into the swing of things for winter. So I did want to show this to you as well. January temperatures have been very warm these last several weeks. So we've been above average in temperatures since, was that almost 9 days ago there last Tuesday. So it's been very warm. It was a cool start to the year, cooler that is, but now we've been in this warm stretch, but that now comes to an end. Today, the 15th, will end up above average with these temperatures that we've been seeing. Tomorrow, though, likely bringing us back down to those cooler conditions. So like I just talked about with this snow chance, I did want to point this out one more time. So yeah, we've got that chance for snow. There is going to be that little chance Sunday night, or like Sunday evening, for Southeast Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Foxborough. So there's going to be a teeny tiny chance for maybe a little bit of snow late in the game, and as you're heading home from a Patriots game. Foxborough, I'm just glad the Patriots won, because I get to do more of these football forecasts. That's like my favorite thing. So we've got more questions. Somebody's asking how much snow in New Britain, and so Sunday is a miss for snow. I will say Sunday, I wouldn't rule it out completely just yet. If you're in the southeastern part of the state, like Norwich and areas to the southeast, there's still going to be a small chance. But I think the big system that is kind of, that potential is fading away. And if you're in the northwestern part of the state, really there's not really a chance at this point for Sunday. So it does look like that is mostly a miss. But again, model runs can do their own thing. I'm just telling you that they have been trending further away from us. So that's what we're giving you the latest on. So I wouldn't call them miss just yet, but we're trending in that direction. So we'll just be watching for more model runs there. We're also asking for how much snow in New Britain. We'll talk about that in just a second. But I do want to show, if this system pans out on Sunday, up towards Foxborough, the Cape especially would have a better chance to see a little bit of that snow. And that is going to be in the evening hours. But hey, Patriots, 3 p.m. on Sunday, taking on the Texans. We'll take it. The question was, how much snow in New Britain? I'll show you this one. This is one of our model runs that we use. It's not like our official snow map, but I did want to show you kind of what this one's system is thinking for us for Saturday. So again, not a huge little guy for us. I think a dusting at best. And this map doesn't do a very good job of showing a dusting, but I will say higher totals kind of in those elevated areas there, those higher terrains. For New Britain, I would say probably closing in on an inch, maybe 2 as we go through Saturday. And then Sunday, right now, Sunday's system kind of misses. So that's what we're watching. Again, I don't want to get Sunday's system out of your head completely, just because there's always a chance that things come back together and we can see everything, kind of line up. I'm just telling you right now that potential is very low, and it continues to lower with the newer model runs that we are seeing. Somebody asked, when is this happening? If you're just joining us here, the snowfall potential, the snow map that you see, this is for Saturday. We're tracking a snow chance on Saturday. I'm thinking right now timing is about 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. So through the majority of the day, I would say your best chance for that snow to be falling. And if we do see travel impacts, it would likely be during the mid to late morning hours of Saturday, roughly speaking about 9 a.m. to noon. That kind of seems to be when that heaviest of the snow is to fall. And I put air quotes around heaviest because it's still going to be rather light, but a nice steady snow possible as we go through Saturday. Okay. If we have any more questions, of course, please ask. We love chatting with you. Until then, I did want to point out that, it's going to be cold tonight, but it's going to get even colder actually as we head through the next several days, especially by Tuesday. I want to also, where did it go? I'm going to show you our high temperatures as we go towards Tuesday. Take a look at this. We've got a high of about 32 tomorrow. Not terrible. With the wind, it'll feel worse, but 22 on Tuesday. Average high temperature for this time of year is 35 degrees. We have been above that for the last 9 or 10 days. Now we're dipping back below average. So some milder air is going to try to move in after that little bit of snow tomorrow, but still 37 then for tomorrow, and then dropping to 22 degrees on Tuesday. So getting a little bit cooler there as we go towards the week. And I also wanted to show, where did my graphic go that I wanted to show everyone? Because cooler air is on the way. Take a look at next week as we head towards Tuesday there. Some of the coldest air of the season, not just for us in New England, but for a lot of the country. So again, we were talking about it, those heading to Florida, the more southern areas this weekend, it's going to be chilly on Friday. And then by next week, by Monday, Tuesday, it gets colder. And here in Connecticut, again, we're talking wind chills near about 0 degrees, potentially even below that by Tuesday morning. So it is going to be rather cold. It is winter after all, and Mother Nature is reminding us the only way that she knows how, by just a big old blast of cool air. I will also point out that we're going to be cold, and we're potentially setting up into I'm trying to think of the word, a pattern, I guess you could say. We're setting up into a pattern here where we could see more precipitation chances by the end of next week here, and it would be cold enough for snow. So we'll keep an eye on that, of course. But again, we're watching. If you're just joining us, I'm going to go ahead and pull up our headlines again. If you're just joining us, to show kind of what the latest the thinking was here. So here's Litchfield again, very pretty, yay. And then what we're dealing with here is our last mild day. 40s are gone after today. I don't think they come back for a while. A blustery wind sets up. It's going to be feeling more like the single digits by tomorrow morning. But like I said, by Tuesday, potentially at or even below 0 for the wind chill. So cooler air is here, and it's going to stick around for a while. And we've got 2 snow chances here. I'll tell you right now, though, Saturday is looking more likely than Sunday. Saturday between about 6 a.m. to 3 p.m., the chance for that light, steady snow, an inch or 2, maybe 3 in higher elevations here of just a nice little light snow for us. And then Sunday, that system is trending further and further away. So it could be a miss on Sunday. I'm just telling you right now, what we're seeing as meteorologists is that this system it's taking it further and further away from us. So it's not a 0% chance that we see anything on Sunday, but I would say late Sunday, unless you're over heading towards Rhode Island, if you're heading towards Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, the Cape on Sunday, that seems to be the best chance for some snow. We'll be watching that close to Foxborough as well for the game, 3 p.m. against the Texans. I think by 3 p.m. it would be dry anyways, but later on in the evening, maybe towards the end of the game and heading home, that might be something. So Beautiful. All right. Well, if we have any other questions, you can let me know. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up. We'll have your latest coming up here on NBC Connecticut at 4, 5, and 6 and 7 p.m. and 11. We've got a lot of shows later on today. But I will leave you with our high temperature forecast graph because we are seeing those temperatures cooling on down. Town Monroe Public Works is watching. Thanks for the heads up. Of course, we're here to help. And we're just telling you this is just a really cool opportunity that we have in our weather lab to kind of just let you know what we're seeing, just breaking, beyond the forecast here, answering questions and just being able to talk more and about more, of what we're seeing, to give that transparency. So we've got the 30s here. The 20s are on the way by Tuesday. Cooling down. Remember that snow chance on Saturday. It really doesn't look like a lot, but it is the first snow that we've seen in several days. So we'll take it, right? I think this is the first snow since closer to the new year, I want to say, right? All the days blend together. I can't believe we're already halfway through January. But that now that we're settling into cooler air, it's starting to put itself together. So cooler air by Tuesday. So that is all that I've got for you. I'm not Ryan. Sorry. Still figuring out how this whole thing works. Thank you all again for joining. We really appreciate it. If you have any other questions, you can email us, Shareit, SHAREIT at NBCConnecticut.com. We're here to answer all of your questions that you may have about the upcoming stuff. Really nothing to worry about, just run-of-the-mill little snow systems for us here, especially Saturday, just a couple, some light snow there. I would watch for like I said, if there are any travel impacts, it'd be in the mid to late morning hours of Saturday, but I will be here Saturday morning to track all that out for you on NBC Connecticut. So again, we appreciate all of your views and your questions and your engagement. We hope you have a great rest of your Thursday, and I hope you enjoy your long weekend as well. We'll see you back here again later on today on the air, online, and we'll have you covered all through the weekend.